Next on the agenda is accept special district tax rates. Is there a motion to accept the special district tax rates?
I'll make a motion.
Motion been made to accept the special district tax rates. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion been made and second. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion passes. Next, I make a motion that I be granted the right to sign all documents needed for awarding of a siren project to be placed at North Magoffin. They're also applying for another one to be at South Magoffin. Make that in form of a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion been made and second. Any discussion?
Is this something that we've already bid out?
No.
It's
Have to sign
This is
it.
an addition. This is
a new one,
this is a new grant.
a new grant?
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is library board. There's been some question, I don't know if you've reviewed it, Greg, about a board member being able to serve more than 2 consecutive terms on the library board. Is that correct?
You didn't call me or anything, but I looked into it, I'm aware of it.
Can you tell us about that? I take your word.
Yeah.
Each of you a copy of the statute on it.
Can you tell us the role?
Well, see, it has two consecutive terms.
Yes.
You'll look under KRS 173.49 there.
Which page?
That would be your third page on that, subsection 1. On
173.49.
49 there, subsection 1, the first paragraph there. Look down there about, almost in the first paragraph. Board members thus appointed shall serve a term of 4 years. Trustees may serve for 2 consecutive terms, after which they shall not succeed themselves.
So, my understanding, we have 2 board members that have been on the library board that have served more than 2 consecutive terms. So, that makes the submission of the names to me not correct and the ones that presented.
Have you been presented with names?
No, I was presented with them, that's the point.
Oh, okay.
So I'm saying, I shouldn't have been presented with them, so when I'm qualified.
You can set out 12 months, and then they can come back on. Like David May was on the board for several years.
But has there been a break between?
So,
the
yeah,
chairman-
a 12-month break.
Right, I understand. Has there been a break in the chairman and the vice chair?
Yeah, Reba Whitaker was, right before I came on the board with the library. There's not a lot of clear records from them. But my understanding, entire board resigned. So you can be appointed to fulfill an unexpired term, which is what these current board members, or some of them have done. So Reba Whitaker's second term ended, it did end May the 31st, 2014. Kim Rudd's second term ended May the 31st, 2015. Ronnie Gullett's term will end May the 31st, 2016. David May is filling an unexpired term that ended May the 31st, 2015. It was Jackie Howard's term. When I sent his name in, it took over a year for us to have him appointed back on. So actually, when David was appointed, after I started looking into this, that term had already expired. And Tracy Watson is she's on her second term, which will expire May the 31st, 2016.
So what's the question? 2 of them are serving.
So we have names to submit, but like I said, I submitted David's name and I think Kyla I came to your office several times and talked to Mike as well about, I submitted 2 names. So it took over a year for the judge's office to get David back on, but then that term's actually expired too.
But it's been over a year. Have you turned in any names?
I haven't turned nothing in for Reba, no, because if you check with KDLA, all of these, it was very unclear. They had a change in the staff, and like I said, I had no records to go on, so I'm just going on what I have researched. And I talked to my regional director before I come in here today to verify these.
So if it's not a continuous break in service, they just continue.
You can serve 4 years, 2 4-year terms.
Are you in the process of turning in names now?
Yeah, I'll have a list of names that will be at our next meeting. I mean, anybody can, you know, you just discuss it, the board does, and then you send them in. But yes.
Depending on, what happens, if you're saying that if you're not replaced, you continue to serve.
You continue to serve. It says the members shall hold their office till their respective successors are appointed and qualified.
So if you don't have an election, you just keep serving?
They
If you
serve
have-
until they've been appointed and qualified.
Yes,
They're
if
supposed
you
to
have-
send names to the state.
Yeah.
They send the names back to the fiscal
So if
court
a-
for approval.
If
A
a judge,
guy from the state said at the meeting the last time that they had to submit them within 60 days of that term expiring.
That is our regional
So
director.
that's
and
what he said.
That's who I talked to. His name's Tim
yeah,
Gaines.
but we're talking about the law. So what that would mean is, if a judge voided an election for county judge, whoever the county judge in the previous term would continue to serve because he voided the election. So it never happened. I kinda like that idea. That means I continue to serve, wouldn't it? It's the same principle. There was
Same
never a break.
principle, but this is a little different law here.
But I mean, that's going back to the Constitution. And the Constitution, and that, because it doesn't say, the Constitution says you continue to serve to your successors. So technically speaking, that'd be another point of law. Maybe we need to figure that out. Because I'm about to make a motion I'm not sure I should make, but I'm still gonna make it. I'd like to make a motion that we ask the current library board to not proceed with any further work on the proposed library or enter into any contracts until the replacements are in place. As that is a significant commitment of $3 to $4 million of county money and obligation. And I'm gonna take your word that if you're not replaced, you get to keep serving. So I kind of like that idea. And further, that if it proceeds, that the county attorney be instructed to seek an injunction until he can get a ruling from the circuit judge.
Judge, in that respect, it says a member of the board may be removed from office, KR 65007. And there's a process, it's the last page you've got there. It's the same process you did several years ago on the water board on there. And you're to chair a hearing and notify them of the reason for either inefficiency in collect.
Now, I'm not asking to remove it. Malfeasance is a term I would not accuse anything, even though I might not agree. Malfeasance is,
But
I don't even.
But rather than injunction, there's a process you follow for taking.
But we
matters.
could, but that process, I cannot vote for it saying they are due malfeasance. What I'm saying is just hold it until you get new appointments. And if not, then you're to try to persuade them legally to.
I think I have that authority.
Would it be an illegal law to do, I mean, would it be is it illegal to seek
You're the
an
appointing
injunction?
authority. It says, you're the, when that statute reads, you're the appointing authority on there. It refers to about the process for taking the matter.
All I'm saying, can the fiscal court not ask, is it illegal for you to do that? The fiscal court asks you to do that because we are ultimately responsible for all debts and privileges.
True, but
By the library board. Would we not be, if they take on debt and they can't pay it, my understanding is the people of the county could dissolve by petition, 10%. People sign it, they can dissolve it. But the bonds would then become the responsibility of the fiscal court. So what I'm saying is, in order to potentially avoid that, it would make the smartest thing judiciary-wise to just hold it till we get 2 new board members. That
So
would be a
then
good.
I can go ahead and submit. I
All
mean,
right, and that's all for the
next
board.
up.
If I understand the process, the board, the sitting board recommends to the
Yes.
library people in Frankfurt, and they send back, if they agree, 2 names, and I picked one.
Judge, we contend that these board members are not sufficient. They don't have the legal authority to pick people that are contentious to the 4,000 names we've got that are not on the church bill. I don't believe these folks have the right to be picking the people.
Why do you feel that way? Because I've had 4,000.
Because it's a merry-go-round. They've been on the boards much longer than they should have, and now they get the option without due process to go ahead and pick who they want to.
The law
that
also
would
states
have the same thoughts that they have.
that those members of the library board have to represent the county as a whole, not one little tiny square mile as a whole. So that means they have to elect people from all over the county, not just a little tiny bit of people.
I think the law was probably well intentioned at one point.
Yeah, sure.
It was possible, but, you know,
Now, we also contend, the group we have, that second part that the county attorney gave regarding removing them, it speaks of inefficiencies. It doesn't speak of so inefficiencies.
Several grounds. And
Several grounds, which
conflict of
inefficiencies
interest,
could be the proper one.
conflict or whatever. Yeah, I mean, there's several
So
grounds.
let me get this
Conflict of interest
straight.
such as when
You would
a
like-
board member from the library and a board member from the church votes on that issue, that appears to my uneducated view as a distinct conflict of interest.
The church has nothing to do with this. That was purchased in '09, so what are you talking about voting?
Who voted for this?
He
Ronnie
was-
was
no.
on the board of the church
Bear was too.
and the
Bear-
board of the library.
Bear, did Ronnie vote?
No, Ronnie abstained in the voting.
Exactly.
But Ronnie wasn't part of the whole process of procuring the money.
You were
As
too.
were some other, I was, and at the time, and I've stated this earlier, I never did like the way that it looked, the way that the money was gotten. But I thought, well, it'll be a chance for us to have a library, a new library, and preserve this historic structure. And also, I didn't want to alienate our state senators and her Stivers. How are you going to look at them and say, no, we don't need the state bill? And that, right now, the way this process is going, that's exactly what's happening.
I just like to know where the 3,000 people were when that church went empty and went for sale.
We're here now.
It's like you said.
We're here now.
Well, I've never seen 3,000.
We were all being told that it was going to be the new library, all the 7 years.
All the 7 years.
All the 7 years.
You drive by a building
No.
that's, we've been saving money, trying to get money to
Is
this.
there a picture
You
of-
drive
is there
by and you
What
see
was
a
the
sign.
picture? The sign says that it's. gonna be
Okay,
there.
is that what it takes? If I'd left the sign there for 20 more years, would you have been satisfied with the building rot
But the
down?
state told them to bring it
That's
down,
my
and
point
they wouldn't
exactly.
bring it
It
down.
can rot down, but you can't knock it down.
well, there's a strong opinion here on this, so
The man above.
are you telling me
The man above has
that
nothing.
we could ask for the guidance from the state saying if they recognize them before we proceed? Then I withdraw my motion and form the following motion. That we, as the physical court, ask that no further contracts or action be taken on the proposed new library until we have received clarification on the question proposed from the county attorney on our behalf to the state, saying, or do you recognize these as the library board members? Then you would report back to us. If that request is not abided by, then you are instructed to file a call for injunction until we receive that information. That's my motion. Is there a second? I second. The motion is that we will act, that the county attorney will contact written, or I guess you can send a written, to ask them, ask them, do you recognize these board members as the official body that can function? Send that back to us. He will then relay it to me, and if any action happens until then, he is to file an injunction until he gets that answer. It's been seconded. Any questions, comments?
Is that the legal avenue we need to go to now, Greg, is pertaining to where they're,
I think you need to find out first who the state recognizes who's on this board right now. We're hearing from conflict of interest here, but I'd like to hear who the state recognizes down there, because it's still to be approved.
And we would get an objective opinion. If they recognize it, then I'm going to be checking out what he says. To pass.
And what would the injunction be?
Stop until we get that
Clarification?
Yeah, just waiting for clarification. And then he will present that to me, and I will act accordingly, either by calling a special meeting or acting on whatever they say.
So basically what we're saying is that that the motion is that we're going to validating their positions. And if, when they come back with that, we're going to report to you, and then we'll have a special meeting, you'll file whatever paperwork to stop it, if they are valid.
If they are valid, then they're valid. Then I have to, then we can vote. We can amend the motion to say if we're going to pursue that we ask that you put an injunction. That was my original motion. I don't know.
we just need to clarify
I
that
just
they
want
are.
to understand what the injunction is and then what the basis is.
I personally would like to say until we figure this out, but that's really what I was asking to say, are they valid, since there's some question. This really addresses my question. But we still need to go ahead and submit those names. And are they names from we need to spread throughout the county?
Yes.
There needs to be, there's 5 of them, there needs to be at least one from each magistrate's district. And I don't think so whoever we have now, all I'm asking is to say, who are the ones now? May, his is valid, Tracy's is valid, so we have one.
Ronnie Gullett is valid.
So we have District 1 and 2. You're in 2, aren't you?
Yeah.
2. We have District 1 and 2 covered. We don't have anybody from District 3. I respectfully request that at least one person be in from District 3 in that. Okay. Motion been made second. Any discussion?
Is that right? Since the public's really interested in this, is that agreeable with the public to do this?
I'd just like to say one thing. I was here several months ago when we did the 90 days. The board has done everything to appease the so-called 3,000 people.
Or,
We've paid
No.
money, we've offered to sell it. It's for sale. If anybody wants it, it's for sale. I've heard that, you can donate money to hire an attorney, you can take money for this and that, but no one wants to come and buy it. But it is for sale, so. the
Why would we buy
public can
something
sell
that the public owns?
What about-
I own it, you own it, everybody owns it.
There you go.
there you go.
Now
Because
you're talking.
I was told by the state senator, that he promised me, and I have no reason to doubt him, that he had talked to John Short and the Speaker of the House, and the money would be there to pay off the city's debt. And the city says, if you pay the debt off, then we'll trade with you. Well, that's buying it in a way.
Sweet.
Because I'm assuming there's not another place, because I'll go on, me and Rooster, I guess he would go along. If that won't work, we'll do a trading and end up with the one up there at the Parkway.
Either one of those solutions.
Either one of those
Parkway
two.
would probably be better.
And then we would have 2 buildings where people could work.
Well, the senator says that the senator is interested in trying to get some college education courses from Big Sandy in the library too.
You mean the church? And they, oh, here,
We
okay.
do it over there. Nobody's promised me they'll give it. They've not even told me they'll give money to stripe the parking lot if it's not there. Okay, motion been made second. Any further questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Next is to spend this excess money. Spend $508.52 remaining literary money for pride education. I'll make that in the form of a motion. Is there a second? It's been made and second. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. Next item on the agenda is the auditor tells us that he cannot complete our audit until our two magistrates complete their conflict of interest statements. Can you complete those for us, gentlemen? We'll give you time while you're here. This one's yours, Matt. This one's yours, Buck, and I believe we've already. There's yours completed, Gary, and here's mine. Oh, my recess.
State over.
Yeah,
This is their template.
yeah, this, I didn't do this, they did. I have to, too, I already gave it to you. Actually,
2012 line
well, because it's for 13, 14.
I wasn't even here.
Where's this from?
It's from the state auditor.
Is this,
It's state auditor. It goes to auditor public account.
so this something I haven't looked?
Yep.
Well, then that would be you.
Greg, is something legally I have to do?
It's a statement on conflict.
I would think so. Any more they do those with.
They all do.
Yeah. It's kind of like what the state they do when they do the, more.
We do it with our auditors too, that's right.
She gave me one for you, but I told her that she wasn't here at the time.
I think we do it when we have changes in office too.
The one we're getting ready to do is the first. Really weird. Is that actually the Colonel Sanders guy?
He's kind of dressed up like it. I make a motion to adjourn. Is there a second? Motion been made second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion carries.